welcome back to my channel. I'm Ashley and today I'm going to be giving you my June update for my Project Rehab series. This is a project that I started a couple of years ago in hopes of balancing my makeup spending habits with my makeup using habits. I was finding myself in a position where I was bringing in a lot more than I was using, and I was also finding that I was more excited by the act of buying makeup, waiting for something new to come in the mail, or finding something beautiful at a store and buying it, using that sort of emotional spending response. I was finding more in that than I was in actually using the items that I was purchasing. I was finding myself in a place where there were things that I bought but then had not used, which was a problem for me personally. So I started this in order to help kind of change some of those habits, but also to hold myself more accountable for my purchasing habits. And so far, I feel like it's been doing a good job. I did mention in my last update that the Sephora sale blew it out of the water and that I've got some ground to make up. Not because there is anything wrong with purchasing makeup, but again, I'm wanting to hold myself more accountable and make sure that I'm getting the joy and the satisfaction out of using the items that I have purchased versus just being excited about getting something new. So this update is going to be on the shorter side, and that is for a couple of reasons. First of all, I only have a few makeup use-ups, but also I put myself on a no-buy until my birthday in the middle of the month, and I have kind of stuck to it. Let's just get on into it. So I start the month of June in the negative still. I have a negative 47.25 credits in my beauty bank, so a lot of ground to make up. Full-size empties put 1 credit back in the bank. Minis put a half a credit into the bank, and then my purchases obviously would deduct from that bank. So let's talk about my empties so far. I have 2 full-size empties, the first of which is this Tower 28 SOS spray. Now, technically, yes, this is a skincare product. However, I purchased it and I used it specifically for a makeup reason. I use this as my makeup setting spray, fixing spray, whatever kind of spray we want to be calling it, because I don't necessarily need longevity. I'm just looking for something that is going to help meld all the powders together and give my makeup a more seamless appearance, and this was fantastic for that. I really enjoyed this very, very much, and I do already have a backup of it courtesy of the Sephora sale. So I do very highly recommend this product, whether you are using it in the way that I did, or I know that its intended use is again as skincare or as a makeup prep step, and it was lovely for that as well. There are a lot of really good ingredients in here to help combat redness, which is something that I do struggle with, so I enjoyed it. I have a backup and I do recommend it. I also finished off a full-size concealer. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Retouch Concealer. This was just okay. This is not something that I would repurchase. It is one of those click style brushes that dispenses the product. It is completely used up. The formula on this was just kind of mediocre in my opinion. It didn't give me as much coverage as I would like. It really didn't build as well as I would have liked. So yeah, I mean, it's fine if you don't have a lot going on in your under eye area. I just needed more. So I'm glad that I got it used up because it was not an inexpensive product, but it's not something that I can see myself repurchasing. Now the mini that I used up is a mascara. This is from Rare Beauty, and I really liked this one a lot. I am actually very sad that it has gotten to the point where it is just not really usable. The wand is a little thick for my liking, but not so much so that it became a mess. It is a natural bristle wand with a slight hourglass shape to it. And I just felt like it layered on my lashes so nicely. It really gave them a lot of fluffy volume and length, which I really did like. I found that I was able to use it on my lower lashes as well without any flaking or smudging. It built up on itself very nicely, and it was not a terrible chore to take off at the end of the day. So yes, very much liked this. It is one that I would very highly consider repurchasing if I didn't already have too many mascaras in my life, too many of which are open and that I use because I like to rotate through them because I am a fickle woman. So what that means is that I have 2.5 credits going back into my beauty bank, taking it to a still negative number. So let's talk about anything that may have come into my life. And yes, I did say that I was on a no buy. And no, I didn't stick to that very well. I have to say there were a lot of really good indie eyeshadow releases, and I happened to purchase a few of them. Now, technically, I have purchased more than what we're gonna talk about here today. It just has not yet arrived, and I really prefer to only talk about items that I have in hand to show you when doing these updates. So these will definitely be included in the next update. But I did give myself 12 free eyeshadow palettes for the year that do not count towards my beauty bank. And as of the last update, I was sitting at 8 of those 12. And we are now at 10 out of 12. Yes, so let's talk about what's on my eyes right now. And that is from Bella Beauty Bar. And this is the Smoky Glam palette. I have never tried this brand before, so I'm currently working on a multi-look video with this, but I was just really intrigued because, again, I have not tried this brand before, and I just thought this color story was fun. You've got a lot of really beautiful pinky purples, but then you've also got these really grungy grays in there, and it just seemed really interesting to me. So that is counting against my free eyeshadow palettes. And then the other one is this absolute stunner right here, which I have already talked about a little bit. I'll make sure to link that video in the description below. But this is the Seahorse palette from Adept Cosmetics. It is all beautiful duo and multi-chrome shadows in here. Both of these are heavily reflective palettes, so they're really messing with my lighting since it is, of course, storming because apparently North Carolina has been transported to the Pacific Northwest. But yes, I very much have been enjoying this palette, and I am now sitting at 10 out of 12 free palettes. Do I regret that? No, not even a little bit. These have been fun to play with. I did make one additional purchase that is going to count against my beauty bank, and that is honestly a mascara. So this is the MAC Stack in the Micro Brush. And I've been wanting to try this since it released. It's just hard for me to justify a mascara purchase because, again, I have a lot of them. And I have many of them open at the same time because I layer them together or I just have different wants in a given day. I'm a Gemini, you know this. I need my options. So I was at Marshall's, which I know what you're thinking. I said I wasn't gonna buy makeup at Marshall's, but I've been wanting to try this for a long time, and I found it there in a completely sealed package. So it seemed like a sign from the universe that I should give it a try. It is what I'm wearing on my lashes now. I think the thing that took me most by surprise, that because I haven't used MAC mascaras before, is that it's scented, which I'm not a fan of that. But I do think that it is sitting on my eyelashes in a very pretty way. I've only used it once or twice. This is a very recent purchase in my life, so I don't have a full opinion on it yet, but I am happy. But that does mean that we are taking another credit out of an already negative beauty bank. This means that I am ending out the month of May with a negative 45.75 credits in the bank. I have used 10 of my 12 free eyeshadow palettes, technically more than that, but like I said, we won't hear about those for another month or so. And then I'm already maxed out on my lip products, 10 out of the 10 that I was planning on purchasing this year. And I don't have any empties as of yet to kind of replace some of those. So am I loving being in the negative? No, of course I'm not. I think I talked about that probably maybe a little too much in my last update. Again, I'm just really trying to hold myself accountable and hold myself to the standard that I put out there. Whether or not I continue this project moving into next year, I have not yet decided. I'm very much at a bit of a crossroads in my mind as to whether or not this is as helpful as it started out being. We'll see where we come to at the end of the year. I'm still going to try to shoot for my no-buy for the next couple of weeks until my birthday, and then we'll see how it goes. But I like that I put that sort of cap on myself so that I could take that time to kind of recharge a little bit and really focus on the items that came in, especially during the Sephora sale, because they were plentiful and I've really been enjoying them. But I wanted to make sure that I was giving them the space to be used, rather than just moving on to the next and moving on to the next and moving on to the next, because that just isn't sustainable for me personally, even though I really wish it was, because I love makeup so much. Anyway, I will stop rambling. I hope that you have enjoyed this update. Please let me know how you are doing in the comments below. I love chatting with you guys. You give me a lot of just really useful information about kind of how I'm coming across versus how maybe I intend to come across. So definitely please continue chatting with me. I have so much fun with it. If you've enjoyed this video, I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up and please consider subscribing before you leave. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I hope that you're having an amazing day and I will see you next time. Bye.